In this video, we'll be going through the replacement procedure for the sandpaper on your spring slider earthquake machine. For this, we're going to need a sharp blade, a rounded metal object. For this purpose, a screwdriver will work well. You will need your replacement pack of sandpaper, and optionally, you can use a piece of paper that will be useful later on in the procedure. So, let's go ahead and begin. We're going to get started by removing the slider. And we'll loosen these two screws and remove the control head. Once you're left with the spring slider base, we'll go ahead and remove the old sandpaper. Next thing that we're going to do is go ahead and clean off the base with isopropyl alcohol and a rag. So once we have the base nice and clean, we'll go ahead and open up our sandpaper pack. There is no paper to remove on these sandpaper rolls. It will be adhesive right out of the bag. So looking up at the top section here, we'll go ahead and place the edge of the roll so that it overhangs on either side of the base and get it about a 1/16 inch away from the screws. We'll go ahead and pull this out. Make sure we're straight, with a little bit of overhang on each side all the way across. All right. To make the step of sticking this down a little bit easier, you can take a piece of paper and lay it over each part of the sandpaper and use your fist to really burnish the sandpaper down onto the base. Make sure and give special focus to the edges and work out any bubbles that may appear by pushing them towards the edges. With the sandpaper fully burnished down, we'll go ahead and take our rounded object, and we're going to score the edge at about a 45-degree angle where the paper hangs off. With all the edges fully scored, we'll go ahead and take our sharp, and from the under edge of the paper, we'll go ahead and run our blade alongside with the plastic, being careful not to cut into the plastic. The excess that hangs off the end of the paper we'll want to save, so we'll set that to the side for now. One more time, we're going to burnish around the edge with our rounded object. This will help stick down the edge and prevent peeling in the future. That concludes the replacement for the base of the device. So we can go ahead and set this to the side. And we'll take a look at our slide platform. To replace this paper, first we'll need to remove these objects here. For this, you will need an Allen key of the correct size. With our two guardrails removed, we'll go ahead and peel away the old sandpaper. And using that leftover bit of scrap that we had from the slide base, we'll go ahead and go through the same procedure as we did with the base, but on the bottom of our slide platform. We'll start by removing any dirt and debris with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Then we'll apply the sandpaper. It should hang off of all four sides of the slide platform. Using our rounded object, we'll go ahead and burnish and score the sides. And this part can be a bit tricky, but you want to make sure and burnish the plastic, not the metal on this end. It should overhang just slightly. For this, it can be helpful to use a much shallower angle against the sandpaper. For the three sides that do not have the metal plate, we'll do the same as before. And starting from under the paper, we'll come in and we'll cut the overhang off. And for this last edge with the metal plate, we'll come in right at the junction of the plastic and the metal and cut down along the score line that we made. With those cuts made, we'll make one final pass with the screwdriver. And we can go ahead and reinstall our guards, being cautious that the channeled edge of the acrylic is pointing downwards and towards the sandpaper. And we'll go ahead and screw those back on. You want to make sure and get these nice and snug, but do not over tighten. With the sandpaper replaced on both the slide platform and the slide base, we can go ahead and reassemble the unit by placing the slide platform onto the base and reinstalling the control head. And that concludes the replacement procedure for the Spring Slider earthquake machine.